Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green. My guests today are two familiar faces and voices to anybody who listens to KCCK regularly. One is our own Saul Lubaroff.
Thank you for having us.
Host of two weekend shows, of course, as well as being one of the best-known sax players around eastern Iowa, and Dave Rosazza. Dave, welcome.
Thanks, Dan.
And the two of you have worked many times, many groups over the years, but you come together in the fall, mostly every year, to bring back the classic R&B group, Shade of Blue.
That's right.
And it's Shade of Blue weekend.
It is.
It's coming
The
up.
mini tour.
But it's the boy. You're promoting this as the boys
It is.
of Shade of Blue,
Yeah.
and that became even more true
Yeah,
recently.
right.
Now it is truly a boys club.
Yep. Well, we always get together once a year, and this past winter, when we were all trying to set up everybody's interest and availability, one of our singers, Simone, has become very, very successful in Chicago and doing her own thing and playing all over, and she was not available. So we enlisted the assistance of a gentleman named Anthony Hendricks, who sings with the Funk Daddies, and coincidentally, three of the members in Shade of Blue are also in Funk Daddies: Kenny Fullard on bass and Denny Redmond, and I think that's it. So
No. Denny Kettle.
Denny Kettles.
Just the two.
Sorry,
I used to
there's
be in the
another
Funk Daddies.
Denny.
All the Dennys. So many Dennys.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we just found out today that Joan will not be able to make it due to a family situation. So it truly is going to be the boys of Shade of Blue featuring Anthony Hendricks.
Nice.
And
So
he's fantastic.
you've got a couple of shows coming up on the 27th and the 28th.
Yep.
And was it Friday is the one, Friday the 27th? That's the one at Wildwood, right?
Yeah.
And then you're doing a Summer of the Arts show the next night.
Yeah, they have a new series called Riverfront Crossing Concert Series, which is a new park behind Big Grove in Iowa City. That used to be the old water park for those that know Iowa City pretty well. And they have a concert series, one each month, and this is the final one of the year.
Oh, all right. Nice. Well, so even though you had been kind of planning on bringing Anthony in,
Mhm.
a little bit of a last minute change, but tell me about integrating Anthony into the band, because obviously he's somebody you know, but the Shade of Blue thing has been going for quite a while with the original lineup.
The original lineup began in 1989 with Dave and I, and our bass player and drummer were both named Todd at the same time.
So many Dennys, so many Todds.
Yeah, and over the years, I left the band for a few years when my children were in diapers and things were getting so hectic. And over the years, Dave carried on with other singers, and there were various people that moved in and out of the band. But I would say about 10 years ago, we started to...
Oh, more than that, 15.
15,
Yeah.
we've been getting together on a yearly basis, and sometimes that happens in the wintertime, sometimes it happens for a fall tour.
Most commonly in the fall.
Most commonly, I would say you're right. And we did rehearse. Okay, let me back up. So Anthony joined, I think, the Funk Daddies a couple of years ago. And last time we saw Kenny, and he's like, oh, my God, this new singer is fantastic. And I think the Funk Daddies have gone through quite a few singers and guitarists over the years, too. A lot like other bands. And so last year at our Wildwood show, Joe and Simone everybody was on board, and Anthony was there, and we said, well, you want to come up and sing a few? And we were all just blown away. So we rehearsed with Anthony because he needed to learn our material, and we sort of needed to. He has some songs that he's bringing to the show. So we're excited to have Anthony on board, and we were disappointed that Joan can't join us, but it's going to be fantastic.
So a couple of shows, and you only get together, usually about once a year.
Yeah.
However, now, in preparation for this, it's probably been a little bit easier to get everybody together and brush
very
up
true.
because you haven't been waiting for Joan and Simone
Right.
to come in. But tell me how has that rehearsal process go with Anthony coming into the band, Dave?
Been really good, actually. And it's funny because I won't spoil the surprise, but as we always try to add a few new tunes, but Anthony and I were at a totally different show at Wildwood one night, and we were all talking as a group of guys that were musicians, and we were picking each other's brain for what tunes because we knew this was coming up. And he said, "Oh, well, I know what's going on, you know." And I said, "Well, we do, but we do the Donny Hathaway version." He's like, "That's the one I sing."
Oh,
Which I
nice.
replied, "Oh, that's my favorite male vocalist of all time." To which he just grabbed his heart and said he agreed. So that led to other discussions of what possible tunes we could do.
So in other words, he fit right in.
Yes, there was a
That's right.
kismet moment there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And during rehearsal, we've called up tunes and that Anthony does with the Funk Daddies. However, it might be in a different key, but this gentleman is so adaptable. He can sing in any key and in any style.
He knows a
And
lot of songs too.
He knows a lot of songs, and he really he fits right into the music that we all love, and has just done a great job in preparing to be the lead singer of this band. So
Well, and he has I believe, a musical theater background, and he's very good on stage. His stage presence is really wonderful, in addition to an incredible voice. Yeah.
So you two have been in the band since the very beginning.
Yeah.
So take me back to those early days. And we've told this story, before, but yeah, every year it gets more embellished.
I'll give the simple synopsis. It was a 3-piece band that left a 4-piece band. So I was in a cover band just out of high school in '89, and I told the other 3 guys in the band, "Hey, I'm going to leave to pursue more blues-based music forms. I didn't want to keep doing, rock stuff. It was great music, but just my passion was elsewhere." And the next day, the drummer and bass player called me and said, "We want to do that too." So 3 of us left and started Shade of Blue, and that was Todd and Todd. And Todd Hesseltine is automotive guy here up at Kirkwood. Yeah.
And then I started going to the old yacht club in the Monday night blues jam, and that's how I met Dave and Todd and joined those guys. I was just a pup. I was 24. You were just like in college, right?
Yeah,
you
19.
were 19 years old, and so that incarnation of the band, they still had like their power trio stuff. So we played Hendricks and we played some Pink Floyd and still had some originals. And then it kind of morphed into more jazzy stuff since I brought some of that into the band. But yeah, 1989, and really for 10, 15, 20 years, that band kept playing around the area with different drummers, different bass players, different singers. And
Sean Seaton joined us on keys not too long after that. And then Ken Fillard, when he joined the band with Sean, there's another connection there. That's a long story I won't go into. But we, some of us played in Voices of Soul at the University of Iowa, which was the gospel choir.
Oh, okay.
And Ken Fillard said there's these 2 vocalists.
I was just going to ask, okay, now you've got a power trio that plays Pink Floyd
Right.
and electric blues. How did that morph
Right.
into a soul band?
Right.
And-
So Fillard and Sean and I were in another band, and we needed a drummer and bass player, and we took the drummer and bass player from that band and said, "Join us in Shade of Blue because we need, the people." And that's what evolved into. I know these 2 women; they're really good vocalists, and that was Jones and Mom. And so they joined us for
and
practice.
they
and
were
we
best
like,
friends. And
Yeah.
so from the minute it was almost like they're perfect together,
Yeah, they can finish each other's sentences.
Yeah.
Just
They often
totally
do.
locked in.
Yeah.
Great Bert.
We've also and still have a good library of originals that Dave has written. Dave and Joan have written together. And, a couple of years ago, we had an original that, I don't know if it was Kenny, where somebody said, let's try this as a reggae. So we tried it as a reggae, and we've never looked back. So we can take things. We all know each other so well musically and as friends. I mean, Sean and Dave and I play other gigs together. We see each other for a couple times a month. And so when you play with people that, and also are close with them as friends, and Matt and Kenny and everybody in the band, we all enjoy being together. And that really shows in how our music is presented.
There's a trust there
Yeah.
too, and that you got each other's back musically too when you're playing.
when you get together for the first time after a year, how long does it take to get things locked back in?
Oh, that's pretty instant, but the
Yeah.
humor is pretty good. As Paul, our percussionist, says, there's a particular song that we're not doing this round, but we always have a big discussion about timing in a certain part of it. So he always says, "Oh, we're getting together for our once-a-year argument
Yep.
about that song."
And this last round of rehearsals, we decided that we were not going to do a certain song because we always end up arguing about it. Not arguing in a more of a positive way, And we decided not to do that song. But then we found another song that took its place. And I think Sean was like, realize we're now arguing about this song for 20 minutes. So, and it's more like we have to be able to present it in a way that everybody understands what we're doing. And so sometimes that takes, but Dave has a list. And by the second rehearsal, we'll go, anybody need to do that one? Nope, we're good. Anybody need to do that one? Yeah, let's just run that.
A lot of starts and finishes.
Yeah.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
It's the boys of Shade of Blue getting together for a weekend at the end of September, September 27th at Wildwood and September 28th at Riverfront Crossings with Summer of the Arts. If people want tickets, they can visit, I'm sure, the Wildwood website for that, wildwoodbarbecue.com.
Tickets will be available at the door for a slightly higher price. You can also go online and reserve a table.
Yeah. Pro tip.
Yeah.
Go online, reserve ahead of time, and then also get your own reserved table so you can guarantee yourself a good seat.
And their food is excellent.
It is.
And I believe the Riverfront Crossing gig, there are food truck, much like Jazz Hunt at the Start. And I think there is adult beverages available for that as well. It's outdoors.
We always bring good weather.
We always do. Yeah. We always have very good weather.
Kind of our last gasp for the fun outdoor shows. Yep. So take advantage of this while the weather is still good, because pretty soon we'll all be inside for the fall and winter. Well, it's always a pleasure to hear what's going on as the band comes back around. One of my favorite times of the year when you guys do your little mini tour. So have fun with it, and thanks for being with me today.
Thank you.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio most weekdays at 10:30, on demand at kcck.org/culture, or subscribe using your favorite podcast player. Watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook and YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. The Culture Crawl theme is composed by Vivian Shanley. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.